Hey, OHM fam, it's Casey.
And Taryn.
And we are here to tell you congratulations on your first month with OHX. We loved seeing all of our OHM properties come together and really focus on the world-class guest service and team member engagement elements of OHX. It was really fun during check-ins. We got some cool pictures from the properties and wanted to highlight a few of our faves.
We loved visiting and chatting with everybody about how you've brought OHX to life within your properties and teams, and wanted to share some best practices we found along the way. First, we love that we are getting that face-to-face time with our teams and stand up and seeing whole properties come together and really have collaborations between departments. We've seen everything from foot races, team member to team member thank you notes, and overall learning more about our fellow team members, having collaborative conversations about what it takes to create a great guest experience, and recognizing each other for a job well done. We know that each property and department is going to need to make their own adjustments to find the right times and groups, but here's a few tips that we found along the way. For our full service properties, we recommend keeping your leadership stand-ups as brief as possible to allow for time for your departmental pre-shift meetings. For PM stand-up coverage, maybe create an overlap in your schedule coverage from your AM shifts to your PM shifts, or use those swing shifts in between to provide coverage while you have a connected meeting with your PM shifts. And for your staggered shifts, post your stand-up info wherever possible, where they can check in on that as soon as they arrive. For our select service properties, maybe find a time to engage all departments at once. We have tons of properties that are doing this super well, and assign various leaders to take different areas of your What's the Scoop, or maybe assign a different leader each day. Keep the messaging fresh and share the load with everybody on property. For our retail, quick service, and entertainment properties, great job using What's the Scoop and leading into the areas that are relevant to your daily operations. Do remember that while we are working in a different atmosphere, we are still guest facing in these areas. So their golden rules are still absolutely going to apply to your team members. Everything from start with a smile to make it shine better together is all relevant across our entire OHM banner. Next, get creative with your stand-ups as well. We recommend using movement. You could walk, stretch, dance during your stand-ups, get everybody engaged, and help improve the mood and memory retention as well. Next, drive engagement with your team members as well. We've had some great creative examples of cop quizzes and contests for who remembers all of the golden rules. This is a great way to get everybody connected and make sure that it's really getting through to the retention as well. Casey, do you have any good examples in this area?
Yeah, I like to plant Easter eggs, Taryn. So also known as spring spheres. But I like to do that. So what I mean by that is, if you're going to post that stand-up information, don't be afraid to plant some fun little games in there. Don't do it every time. You want to dangle the carrot, but you don't want to just have it there every day. But maybe put a line in there under one of the sections like, hey, go say this secret phrase to your MOD and you'll win a prize kind of situation. But that will help keep people looking. And in the process of looking for the Easter eggs, they're going to absorb that information.
Great examples, Casey. Thank you. We also want to encourage you to share the load and engage more leaders to help lead your stand-ups. You could schedule a calendar or take volunteers, assign various leaders to take up the mantle of leading stand-up on different days. Maybe they take a portion of What's the Scoop, or have a different leader pull the charm card for each day. A lot of opportunity here. But this is a great way to build soft skills in our other department leaders and lead positions, and will directly translate to personal growth across our team members and help keep the messaging fresh for everybody. Also, remember our OHM pillar of sustainability. We recommend using dry erase tools whenever possible. Recycle your printed materials and go digital. Again, 3 tips for sustainability here. Use your dry erase tools, recycle your printed materials, and use your digital resources.
And don't forget, all of these resources are available digitally through that OHX SharePoint.
Great job setting the foundations of OHX over this first month. Again, so encouraged by those morning pre-shifts that everybody's having and the overall team engagement that we're seeing taking place. There are a couple areas we want to talk about: room for growth in engaging our PMs and weekends equally, and increasing our recognition across our team members. For evenings and weekends, we know that this can sometimes be a smaller crew, often even 1 to 3 people, and arriving during our busiest parts of the day as well. But these team members are a critical part of the guest experience, and it's important that they feel engaged with our OHX Golden Rules and they feel connected to the team and encouraged about a job well done. If you have a best practice for how your property is engaging these shifts and these team members, we want to hear about it. Recognition is an area of OHX that we are so passionate about and we know can have an impact on team member engagement. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and get your Power of Positivity boards up at your property and get the ball rolling with recognizing team members when they are living out an OHX standard. Some examples of that could be giving a Lucky Charm card for a GSS shout out or name mention on a review. If you see a team member pick up a piece of trash in the parking lot, give them a Make It Shine Lucky Charm card. Maybe you see a team member using the 15-5 rule around the lobby and greeting guests, give them a Lucky Charm card for that. Also encourage your team members to do the same with each other.
So as you all know, Taryn and I have been spending some time checking in with all of our properties, and we've come up with kind of a Q&A, some of the questions that we've gotten frequently, and we wanted to touch on those with you. So Taryn, what about this one? Do we do a new golden rule every day?
Yes, and here's why. We really feel that the repetition is going to play a huge part in the long-term engagement and retention of these service standards. Don't worry about your team members not having all 10 of your golden rules committed to memory after just a few weeks. We know we've got changing schedules, but once we have a few months of briefly revisiting these golden rules every day and tying them into positive recognition with those Lucky Charm cards or coaching areas, they will continue to come alive to the team. So carry on with those golden rules of the day.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. I love that, and I'm glad we got to clarify it. This is a big question. I know I got it frequently. How do we balance OHX and brand service standards?
Yeah, great question. We know that this can be a challenging balance, but our recommendation is make OHX your daily focus. Obviously, we want you to meet your brand QAs. Some examples that we've had is maybe to keep your brand service standard posted somewhere in a visible back of house area. But if you only have a brief time to connect with your team during pre-shift, definitely review those OHX daily items.
Awesome. Okay. We know this one was coming. Can we get a poster of the golden rules?
1,000%. This is in development and coming soon.
Okay. Awesome. So there you have it, folks. Straight from the source. What about this? How and when do we use our golden rule guidebooks?
Yeah, so you are welcome to bring your golden rule guidebook guidebooks with you to your pre-shift meetings, but some other times that you could utilize them. Let's say we have today's golden rule as start with a smile, and we received a recent detractor review saying that a guest wasn't greeted or that they didn't feel cared for. Obviously, that's not what we want to see. So during our next pre-shift with the team, we could use the golden rule guidebook so that we can kind of dive into further conversation with the team on how we deliver this golden rule. Again, this is really a coaching guide that you can use as a resource as leaders. We also recommend utilizing it for onboarding new team members. And as Casey mentioned earlier, this is also a digital resource. So if you don't want to carry this guidebook around with you into your pre-shift, this is available via your phone as well from OHX SharePoint.
Oh, that's awesome. I love the guidebook. I think there's some really fun activities in there. It's a great tool when you need it. Okay, so last Q&A question. What translation resources do we have, Taryn?
So right now we have a resource available on OHX SharePoint, which is basically a how-to guide of how we can lean into technology that we have at our fingertips and use technology to help us bring OHX to life in other languages. But if you find that you need a different resource at your property, please reach out to us and we would be happy to chat about that and see how we can bring that need into reality.
Awesome. Okay, so it sounds like we are well on our way to supporting both English and Spanish speakers. We've got a lot of resources out there, and it sounds like we're just going to continue to enhance that as we go. All right, so a quick recap here for everybody. First off, amazing job to everyone finding that rhythm for pre-shifts. We love that you're being creative. We love that you are making it work for your property. And we understand there's a variety of challenges, so great job overcoming those and finding that solution that works for you. As a result of those stand-ups, we're seeing heavily engaged team members with a lot of information that's going to set them up for success. And as a side effect of that, we're seeing improved guest services. So that's an exciting win all the way around for everybody. Don't forget, apply that same problem to your afternoon, evening, weekend shifts. And make sure that they are equally included in that OHX part of your operations at your property. Definitely keep up with those golden rules of the day. A golden rule of the day keeps a bad score away, right, Taryn?
Yeah.
and continue reviewing those daily. Let a volunteer read the full golden rule of the day, connect them to positive or detractor reviews, and recognize team members with Lucky Charm cards. Don't forget to do that whenever they're carrying out a golden rule or you're seeing them do anything that's really promoting OHX and positive guest service, guest experience, any of that. Make sure we're using those and helping bring those to life in a way that we are positively reinforcing action within our team members.
As Casey mentioned, we are seeing a direct impact to our guest service experience as well. Here's a quick shout out for all of our properties who are meeting their individual service score goals. You'll see that bonus little star for all of our properties hitting that 90th percentile and above. Great job, everybody. We'd love to see all of our properties hit this page next month. Reminder that your OHX May calendar is available on OHX SharePoint. Go ahead and get this resource out to your team members if you haven't already.
Awesome. So again, if you have any questions, you need any support, email us with questions. We're available at ohx@ohospitalitymanagement.com, or of course you can reach out to Taryn or myself, Casey Brower, anytime you need. And don't forget, stay golden.